Welcome back, Gandhiji. India is absolutely elated that you have returned. I cannot think of any other person that had so grand welcome on your return. You know, people see you in the light of a national hero.
Yes, I realize that many people have become aware of my various political battles, so to speak, in South Africa. I notice that we have many more important matters to discuss here. People have changed much since I left India. In fact, I noticed that people have become accustomed and even accepted to the idea of British rule. This should not be the case. Furthermore, people have accepted English customs while forgoing their own ancient traditions. This should not be the case, and we must make sure that we are able to achieve our cause through I am sure that we will be able to use Satyagraha to achieve our needs. Satyagraha would be non-violent dissent, and through the usage of Satyagraha, we will be able to achieve our goal.
That is quite a powerful statement, Bapu. A person that does not wish to see the day India gains its independence is rare. But is there any real chance of it? I doubt even your usage of non-violence on such a large-scale political basis as in South Africa can win us self-rule. I, of all people, know that it was in South Africa that non-violence is ethically a far better, as you have shown, a more effective method. However, that was in South Africa, Bapu. How would you organize such a movement on such a large scale?
Well, it must always begin with small steps. In South Africa, I began with a crowd of a few hundred people. It was the support of the people and the involvement of the press in publicizing my movement that finally helped me achieve my cause. Revolution, however, I believe, has been seen in history as a violent overthrow of the ruler. I hope to change this, and I want to show the world that I can achieve a peaceful negotiation with the British Empire. There are many causes I am prepared to die for, but none that I am prepared to kill for.
What wonderful ideas you have, Bapu. I am beginning to see that the Satyagraha may have been the only way we can get Swaraj. There have been many obstacles in our way, as in Great Britain's path. There are those that see violence as the only way, and others who would want self-rule for India.
Well, these people must realize that by acts of violence, they only show that they are no better than the forces they are up against. I believe that through the unity of people in India, through their diversity, we can achieve one common body. People must be united through their thought, word, and deed. However, one drop of lemon can spoil the whole glass of milk, and therefore, we must make people who see violence as the answer see the way that we do.
It was with these ideas in mind that Gandhi decided to integrate his ideas of peaceful non-cooperation called Satyagraha that he went to Kedah in the state of Gujarat and Champaran in the state of Bihar in 1918 to deal with the farmers' problems there.
The situations here in Champaran and in Kedah are desperate. The farmers here grow indigo, and the paltry profits they receive are done away with by the increasing higher taxes from the British.
Yes, I see that the local British government does absolutely nothing to help. Even in this dire famine and poverty, nothing has been done to make the situation better. Some have even resorted to acts of violence. I will set up my ashram here in Champaran and later go to Kedah, and I will prove that we are able to achieve a negotiation through non-violent disobedience.
Gandhi went into the village and witnessed all the suffering. He and many others participated in cleanups of the villages. He spoke to the villagers on their course of action and talked about expected and desired events over a long period of time. It was here in Champaran and Kedah that Gandhi gained his fame and political respect as a great leader in India, and where he received the title Mahatma, Great Soul, for the first time. The movement started with a small publicized event, as Gandhi had wished.
The local British government has done absolutely nothing to help. In fact, they have let the condition become even worse. I promise that through the use of ahimsa and satyagraha, we will be able to achieve a negotiation with the local British government. We cannot use violence as a method. It will only receive a stronger and larger retaliation. I promise you that this is the struggle that you have all been waiting for. This is a real struggle for justice that you have been wishing for. Only through the use of satyagraha will we be able to achieve our goal. We shall prevail.
As he was leading the efforts, the police arrested him, which caused the villagers to assemble outside and clamor for his release. Gandhi had to be released from jail, and he quickly went on to lead the farmers on strike against their landlords. The landlords finally had to give in, and with help from the local British government, they came to a negotiation. Farmers would have more control over their land, and there would be no more taxes and tax raises. The farmers in Champaran were in much better conditions than before, and in Kedah, the way the farmers did not retaliate when they were beaten and the property was taken, struck a nerve in the British, and there also they had to relent. Gandhi had become a very prominent political figure by now, drawing attention from both Indians and British alike. No one could help but admire how he was able to organize and carry through such peaceful protests that still left such a huge mark. Gandhi strongly wanted to unite the Swaraj Party and the Indian National Congress, as their goals and ideas clashed many a time. It was during this time that he met Muhammad Ali Jinnah, another prominent figure in the Indian National Congress.
Bapu, let me introduce you to Mr. Jinnah. He finds your methods highly interesting. He is also from the Congress, as well as the leader of the Muslim League.
I am pleased to meet you, Mr. Jinnah. I've heard much about your ideologies, and I'm pleased to make your acquaintance.
Yes, same to you, Mr. Gandhi. It is an honor. Your methods of leading revolts are highly intriguing. However, don't you feel that it may spark some conflicts between Muslims and Hindus? In fact, some people are worried that it may lead to Hindu zealotry.
Well, people who use my ideology in a different way must see that this is simply a misconception of my ideology. I do not wish to see any separation of the two main groups in our nation.
It would in theory be a wonderful idea if everyone could live side by side, but recent conflicts seem to hint that it may not work in the long run.
One can only hope for the best, Mr. Jinnah. However, I do wish that we can stay unified and that we do not split into two separate nations.
Yes, well, other than the Swaraj movement, are there any minor ambitions you have?
Most definitely. I think that the lower castes, particularly the Dalits, have much prejudice and segregation against them. People in higher castes see them as outcasts. They are seen as untouchables. This should not be the case. This is simply a form of hypocrisy. They should be seen as Harijans, children of God, as we all are. Speaking of the Swaraj, however, I do believe that we can extend acts of civil disobedience into the boycotting of British goods and only using Swadeshi cloth.
Though I agree these are great intents, I feel that it may be delving further into creating instances of Hindu zealotry. One should take care that such plans do not get out of hand.
Though Jinnah and Gandhi shared much in common, they differed in one important aspect: how to deal with the Hindu-Muslim disputes and what issues aggravated them. Due to the relationship between the two groups being very tense, there were many that wanted a separate Muslim country, but some, like Gandhi, strongly wished that India could cooperate in harmony. In general, it could be said that Gandhi had the more optimistic view of Hindu-Muslim controversies. However, for the time being, they had similar interests. Gandhi's Swaraj movement became increasingly influential and drew huge amounts of supporters. Though Gandhi stayed out of direct active politics until the late 1920s, he created an enormous impact. He had large influences on Nehru and Subhas Chandra Bose, who both wanted the immediate independence, advising them to wait for the right time to press for such matters. Around this time, the Amritsar massacre occurred, where General Dyer gave orders and thousands of peacefully assembled people were fired upon, killing upwards of 1,500 and injuring many more.